실시간 인터뷰 글로벌 크루에게 듣는다 김민지입니다. 오늘은 조지 소로스와 함께 퀀텀펀드를 만들어서 10년간 4,200%라는 경이적인 수익률을 기록한 월가의 투자의 귀재, 전설적인 투자자 만나보실 텐데요. 현재 로저스홀딩스의 회장직을 맡고 있는 짐 로저스, 지금 바로 모시겠습니다. Thanks for joining us today.
I am fine. I'm delighted to be here.
First, I'd like to ask you about the Korean stock market. How do you evaluate it?
Well, I own a few Korean shares. I don't own a lot. I'm waiting for a better opportunity to buy in Korea. If you could get the market to go down a lot, Min-jae, I would probably buy more. I know I would buy more.
If I remember correctly, you've mentioned investing in Korean ETF. Have you invested, or are you still waiting for the right time?
No, I have bought a few of the ETF, and I own some shares of the Korean ETF, and I own some shares of Korean Airlines.
Is that a special reason that you are buying airline shares?
Well, part of my reason to buy it is that I am somewhat optimistic about airlines around the world, and I am very optimistic about the Korea down the line, especially after unification. One of the best ways I see to invest in the unification of Korea is to buy Korean Airlines, because there will be a lot of travel when that happens.
And I feel like I have to ask you about North Korea. Is North Korea a threat or an opportunity for the Korean stock market?
North Korea is a great opportunity for Korea. Once there's unification, Korea, the United Korea, is going to be one of the most exciting countries in the world, perhaps the most exciting country. You will have cheap labor, lots of raw materials. You'll have massive amounts of capital in South Korea. You have management know-how in South Korea. It will run circles around the Japanese. The Japanese will not be able to compete with the United Korea, and they know it. That's one reason they're against it.
Jim, you always have been a big believer in China. Are you still buying China?
Well, not always, but certainly in the past 20 years or 25 years or so, yes. I did buy Chinese shares last Tuesday, as a matter of fact, when there was a big panic. Whenever there's a big panic in China, I tend to buy shares.
Well, are you not worried about its wild and volatile move?
Well, you're supposed to buy buy low and sell high, Min-jae. People should make their own decisions about where to invest and when to invest. But I did buy more Chinese shares last Tuesday.
I know it's tricky, but how high do you see in China?
Well, I buy these shares for my daughters. My daughters are 7 and 12 years old right now. So I expect in their lifetimes, Chinese shares will go much, much higher, just like American shares. If you'd bought American shares in 1915, Min-jae, you would have made a lot of money over the next few decades. That's my view of China.
And moving to the U.S., the Fed is about to raise interest rate within this year. Will the Fed action cause investment to trouble?
Well, probably when the Fed rate, by the way, interest rates have already started going up. I know journalists have to follow the central banks, but the interest rates have already started going up. And historically, the Fed mainly follows the market rather than vice versa. Interest rates have started going up. Eventually, the Fed will get on board. That will cause some people to be scared. Maybe even the Fed will maybe raise rates twice. And then people will get really scared. And what will happen then, Min-jae, is everybody will be calling the Fed saying, you've got to save the world. The Fed, which is made up of bureaucrats and academics, they don't know anything. They've never had a real job. They will panic. They will get scared. And they will say, oh, we will come to your rescue. Then the Fed will do something to loosen up again. The market will rally. And that's probably the last rally in the U.S. stock market. That may happen later this year or next year.
What would you do with your money then? I mean, how would you play that?
When that happens, I will probably sell short. In America, I will probably own more agricultural products. I will probably have more. I'm putting money into Russia and Japan at the moment, although Japan will certainly start going down when America does. There are some markets in the world that won't be too badly hurt when the U.S. Starts going down. But most markets will, Min-jae. You should learn about putting your money into stable assets like cash, as long as you put it into the right cash, or short-term government bonds, or maybe gold or silver at that time. Just depends on how the market evolves between now and the next few months.
Next is about the commodity. Do you see the oil price going up or down from here?
Normally what happens is when you have a big drop, there's a big rally. It's called a dead cat bounce in America. And then after the dead cat bounce, the market goes back and tests the lows. It goes back to where the lows were before to see if that's the end of the decline. That's what's happening now. We're having the normal test of the lows. I suspect that the lows will hold, maybe a little below or a little above, doesn't really matter. And then oil will start going up again. Remember, Minjay, that the world has consumed more than it has produced in recent years, except for fracking in the U.S., but now fracking is not so profitable anymore. So I suspect we will make a bottom, and then oil will be okay again.
What about gold? You said the buying opportunity is coming for gold. Has the opportunity come for you?
Not for me yet. I'm still not buying gold or silver. I've hedged some of my gold and silver. If gold goes under $1,000 US or $900 US or something, I hope I'm smart enough to buy more gold.
All right, so Jim, final question. What are the issues that Korean investors should focus on over the next 6 months?
Hey, well, I'm here to discuss with Korean business news, the viewers, what's going on. And some of the things that I am worried about over the next few months, I'm worried about the Federal Reserve, as all central banks, the major central banks in the world. They have been printing too much money. That's going to cause a problem eventually when it ends. We've had this artificial sea of liquidity. So as that artificial ocean of liquidity withdraws, Minjay, we're going to have some serious problems in the world financial markets. And then they should prepare themselves.
And that would be it. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you, Minjay. Thank you, Korean Business News.
네, 지금까지 월가의 투자의 귀재 짐 로저스와 함께 하셨습니다. 한국 주식시장부터 상품시장까지 다양한 의견 들어볼 수 있었는데요. 시청자 여러분들 투자 전략 짜시는데 오늘 내용들 참고해 보시면 좋겠습니다. 저는 오늘 여기서 인사드리겠습니다.